He's someone, right? He's someone that that I've kind of grown with these last couple of months and stuff like that through the pandemic and things of that nature. And when we first linked up, it wasn't the most joyous link up, right? It was a altercation, right? Imagine meeting somebody for the first time and it's like, yo, I don't even like this dude. That's how our first encounter happened. Crazy enough, our first encounter was at the MMO tailgate. MMO tailgate, shout out to anybody who went to the tailgate out here in Houston. And if you know, right, DP is a hard-headed individual. This dude's a hard-headed individual. And he tries to pull up in his car, pull up and try to tell me that he's just gonna do what he's gonna do. And if you know me, that was not happening. So we went back and forth. He and I found out he's from New York, and that was a whole nother headache. I was like, oh, I understand why you're hard-headed. I get it now, right? I get it. You're from New York. It makes sense. And then after that, it was like, we were inseparable. Every event, we link up, everything, we would always be with each other. But it started from him just being hard-headed. He's my hard-headed little brother. Love him to death, but man, if y'all have a headache, that's him. That's the headache. But I wouldn't want to do this call with anybody else because our journey has been intertwined from that day at tailgate till now. Our journeys have intertwined on accident and purpose, right? Like he moved to Houston. He didn't even know I lived in Houston. Crazy enough, he was here and didn't even know I lived here. And then now it's like we are just every day we talk. We don't go a day without talking to each other. You good? Everything all right? You need anything? You straight? You ate today? You worked out? Like, what's up, right? So it's like, that's why it's important to build relationships in this business, right? You got to understand that you never know sideline, upline, crossline, another team. We're in the same organization, but we're not on the same team. Like, that's the crazy part. We're in the same organization, but we're not on the same team. What I do doesn't benefit him. What he does not benefit me, but we're still running together. And that's why we call this call sophomore year, because that's what we feel like we're in our sophomore year, right? We killed freshman year, murdered it. Freshman year was tough. It was rough, man. Woo. We're going to get into that. Freshman year was rough, tough, but we made it. And now
Yo, I think she froze. Is she? Am I tripping? Yeah. Oh, she froze? Oh, man, she was getting into the heat. All right, bet. She was getting into the heat, but all good. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Listen, man, I'm from New York, so, we a little aggressive, but it's always with good intention. Right? So I'm going to just pick up from where, pretty much she left off. But I'm going to start really with, sharing my story. So, we decided to do this call sophomore year because that's where we're at right now. And most of you guys on this call are freshmen, right? So how many of you guys, just drop a 1 real quick if you went to college, right? Drop a 1 if you went to college. Drop a 1 if you went to college, right? You had that experience. Let me know. Okay, bet. Some of you guys are dropping 1s. Okay. If you did it, and that's perfectly fine, right? But I want you guys to understand that I'm Academy, right? This is back. Oh, that was the best time of my life too, right? So I'm Academy is an educational platform, right? And educational platform is another word you can use for, like, for example, for like school, right? I'm Academy is your school, right? And we are all students a part of the academy. We have the Go Live educators, which are the professors and the principals. We have, our chairman, hundreds and above, which could be more like our deans of different, academic relations, all those people. And then, of course, you got the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, right? Your juniors are more or less your C10s, C25s, C50s. Your seniors are really your C100s and C250s, and then your C500s and C750s are basically, you know, the entire administration, right? So IM Academy is pretty much set up like a college. And the reason why I want you guys to look at this is because when you start to realize the relative, you know, idea or the identity of where you are in this industry, where you are currently in your life, you got to realize that, damn, for a lot of you guys, this is your freshman year. Imagine your freshman year in school when you were still learning the curriculum, when you were still getting to know people. When, you know, how many of you guys have friends, right, where you had friends freshman year, and then sophomore year, you didn't even know who the fuck they were. And then by junior year, you forgot, and by senior year, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even remember those were my friends, right? Like, that was someone I just met. Like, the day one freshman year, you're with someone, you're like, yeah, this is my best friend. Yeah, we're going to take over the world. By senior year, you probably don't get to talk to that person, right? And that's kind of what this industry is like. And it's an oxymoron statement to talk about it, but it makes so much sense when you really break it down, you know, and I'm going to break down the experience for you. So, you know, just like college, right? There's always something going on. There's always something that is continuing to bounce back and forth, continuing to change your new level of growth, your level of perspective, your level of enthusiasm or hope, right? And that all comes from you, right? What are you feeling right now? We're going to talk about this. We're also going to give you the chance to ask us questions because, hey, we're sophomores and you guys are freshmen. So maybe we have an answer for some of the things you guys are going with. And as you guys remember, no matter what happens in your life, you still go through stuff in your regular life, you know? So my freshman year really started like this. You know, I joined the academy, you know, for the first 3-4 months. I actually didn't do anything. I was pretty much focused. This was back in basically 2019, right? 2019, I started. I did nothing for 3-4 months, right? I was looking into trading. You know, one of my boys I actually went to high school with, he invited me to see the opportunity. You know, I was like, all right, bro, if you're doing this, seems something cool, but I'm focused on other stuff, right? So that was September of 2019. I didn't take this opportunity serious until December of 2019. So I almost let the whole third quarter, well, really fourth quarter, just go by without doing anything. December, a week before Christmas, is where I first learned about really understanding about trading, institutionally trading like the banks and understanding that higher level of education that was there. And I said, yo, I need to be a part of that. I want to know more. I want to be able to move money like the banks do, right? Because who wouldn't want to move money like the banks? So from there, I really started to focus more into trading. December, January into February, I spent 3 months in the crib, especially in New York. You know, it's winter, it's really cold. So I spent those 3 months in New York just really grinding. With one of my current P2s, Nick, he was actually one of the individuals that I reached out to really help me understand trading, as well as a Capsis as well, one of my P1000s. And it was so crazy because at that time, they weren't even on my team. That was the funniest part. We were just a part of a trading group, trading community. I was unranked. I knew nothing about trading, and I was making money and losing money, making money and losing money, and I didn't really get the concept of this whole thing. Now, I had the opportunity, for those of you guys who know, my upline is Tim Trades, my direct upline, right? You know, he's more of a trader in the industry of IM, right? So I had the opportunity to go to Europe, and he invited me out to Europe to learn how to trade. I will always tell you guys this. Do not rely on anyone to teach you how to trade. You rely on the system and on the tools. Don't rely on the person, because boy, oh boy, when I tell you the time I went to Europe, summary of that, I went to Europe. Mind you, this is all in my freshman year. I'm showing you how crazy freshman year is, right? All in my freshman year. And I spent literally thousands of dollars to book a flight to Rotterdam, Netherlands, right? I did not see Tim until London. Now, you would think I went to Rotterdam for 2 weeks and I didn't see my mentor for that long period of time. And that's my first occurrence as a freshman. Like, damn, I really want to take something serious, and no one's taking me serious. What the hell? Mind you, I had one of my guys, Tommy, with me. He's a P2 on the way to P5. And I had two other individuals with me who, for some reason, I don't even know why they're not here. But you understand, freshman year, people drop out of school. That's perfectly fine, right? So we're still here. We're still in the trenches. My guy, Tommy Guns, he really stuck through with it, and everyone who stuck through kind of got the benefit into that sophomore year, right? So as I ended up being in Europe, I was getting ready to come back to the United States. I heard of convention. How many of you guys know about I Am Convention? I Am London Convention. That was in London. And I was like, well, I'm all the way here in the Netherlands. What would it cost to book another $150, 150 pounds? So it was almost about $200 and something flight to go to London. I ended up going to London, and as a freshman going on your first school trip, you don't really know what to expect, and I got hit left and right. We didn't have an Airbnb prepared, so we had to book hotel by hotel, night by night. We did eventually get an Airbnb towards the weekend. We thought, once again, don't ever book an Airbnb on booking.com, because boy, oh boy, the level quality, it was a rough time. Now the thing, I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, I can tell you all the amazing things that can happen from this opportunity. But I'm not gonna lie, my first year was shitty. It was the worst ever. Like, I was so fed up because I was like, yo, what the hell is this? But I didn't quit. I walk into convention and I will never forget, I met Casher Great. I knew him from Instagram. I knew him from Atlanta when he promoted. And he was like, yeah, man, I love this Forex shit. I'm just gonna keep getting rich. I was like, for a Black man to talk about something like this so highly and comes from the hood that I could resonate with, I said, okay, maybe there is something more here. Because Tim, I love Tim, bro. That's a brother to me, but he's not from where I'm from. He never went through the things I went through in life, like as a Black young male. So he doesn't understand certain things. So it was hard to resonate with my mentor at that level because he didn't know what struggle I came from or what I had to deal with, as a Black male living in America, right? So I was able to resonate with Cash, and his story effectively showed me that this opportunity is for anybody, but it's not for everyone. And what that means is that you can come in here and be a builder. You can come in here and be a trader. You can come in here and do both. You can come in here and be John Gotti. You can come in here and be whoever Drake. You can come in here and be whoever you want to be. This opportunity, you can find a way for it to benefit you. At convention, I saw people run from the stands. Like, yes, I'm going to say this was a call. I was like, whoa. I saw people run to a stage, shouting someone's name, and I'm like, this is not a celebrity. What is this? Chairman? What the hell? What does that mean? This is crazy. I'm like, this is a trading company? Like, what does this mean? And I'm literally hearing speech after speech, testimony after testimony, how people went through tests, and then their test that they passed became their testimonial. And I sat here and I'm like, damn, I'm confused. This is a trading company. What could you possibly go through? Let me fucking tell you. Right? So as I fast forward and as I continue, I realized that, guess what happened at the end of February? March happened. What happened in March of 2020? COVID. I literally left Europe 3 days before they locked down New York City, which was about March 10th, because I ended up staying out in London a little bit longer to explore and just really get that aspect. And from that standpoint, COVID happened. And I lost almost everything. Mind you, I'm still going through my freshman year. I'm still learning how to trade all these months. I've gone through the worst experiences in the company that I think, like, what is this really for me? Is this something I could really look forward to? Right. And I realized that as people fall off, life still continues, right? As, for example, people will fall off this call. Life is still going to continue. right? As of March 10th, 2020, I was a platinum 150. By March 31st, I had just hit P2000. Then from March 31st to July, I hit platinum 5,000. Right? So 4 months or so, I literally like quadrupled I not even quadrupled. That's like a 50x. If you're making almost $150 at P150, and then you're at 5,000 a month, that's like 50 times, right? Like I 50x my income, but a part of that 50x, I quadrupled my trading skill set. Because remember, from December, I was being consistent. I was going through the bullshit, but I was being consistent, And hey, someone may ask, hey, yo, July, it's about to be a whole year at a particular rank, but ranks aren't measured in time. Ranks are measured in what you do, right? So in July, I was living in New York. I had a 2-bedroom in Queens. I was, probably on my way to I was definitely at 5 figures for sure. I was definitely at 5 figures. But by August, I was at a little over 200K from HFX and from FRX. So my freshman year, by September, when my freshman year was completed, my life did a 720, not even a 360. My life turned around 2 times, right? And I've realized because of December, because of January, because of February, because of March, April, May, June, right? You can't really count December because I started December, like focus. But if you really start from January to June, it took me 6 months to change my life really forever. Like I'm still reaping the benefits of something I did back in 2020. But this all started in 2019, right? So September that just passed, I completed my first year as a freshman. And some would say, yo, that's crazy. You went through a lot. But it gets better, but it also gets worse. It's like every new level you get to is a new level, right? Now trading was a tricky part because I had made so much money over the summer that I didn't know how to balance it, because when it came to the fall, it's a different season. And one thing you have to be in any grade, any culture, anything, you have to learn how to adapt. So I went on tour and my trading went to shit. It didn't go to shit. No, it went to shit. I was like, yo, this is not making no sense. What am I doing? I went to tour for the whole month of September. So, hold on. I went to tour the whole month of September, right? And I literally said, okay, I went places I've never been. I've been to Kansas, all this extra stuff. Like it was just like Kansas, Arkansas. The first time I came to Houston was in September. I've traveled around the world, never been to Houston, right? All places and such, right? So I want you guys to understand, check the text, right? I want you to understand what it takes to transition your life from never doing this to actually now being in the group, right? That was the start of my sophomore year. Sophomore year starts, I'm on tour. Crazy shit ever, right? This September coming up will be my junior year. So let me tell you how hard sophomore year is, right? And when I tell you how hard it is, I came to Houston. I spent Houston. I met Rhonda. That's where we almost fought. She didn't want to smoke, all that, yada, yada. You know how that story goes, right? We're here today. But I finished tour and I was in New York City. Mind you, this was all through a pandemic. So I look at it like this. If I can do all of this through a pandemic, I'm going to really 10x my lifestyle over this next year. New York City, just everything is opening back up. it's like a fresh start. And I'm telling you guys this so you can capitalize on it, take advantage of it, right? From October, I came to Houston. And when you talk about a hunch, you talk about just doing things spontaneous, right? I came to Houston for 2 weeks, and then I was supposed to go back to New York. And I ended up going to the P2K boot camp. But before I went to the P2K boot camp, after touring, like I went on tour and I got to see all these amazing things, met all these amazing people. And I was like, yo, it's actually not bad out here. My spontaneous ask, because sometimes when an opportunity presents itself, you have to jump on it. I ended up staying in Houston, right? And it's been about almost 7 months, 7 months. And I have not gone back to New York. I got a penthouse out here. I literally 700 feet up in the sky. I literally just reshifted my whole life in a split second. Like, it happened so fast. I'm like, I still can't believe it. Like, I've met people that I would have never met if I didn't know. You know, like if you asked me in September, would I ever live in Houston? I would be like, I've never been to Houston. So after that experience, that's why you got to travel. That's why you got to really go to events. You have to see things. You know, Tailgate was something for me where it was like, this is cool, but this is just a start. I got to see what year 5 looks like. I literally still have my 2 suitcases, haven't been back to New York since, and I've restarted my whole life here. Like, everything from the leasing, I landed and I applied for a lease, I think in 24 hours later. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it sounded beautiful, right? Got a brand new 2-bedroom, beautiful condo. Everything's nice. The back office is booming. The tour was lit. Life was setting up. And then it just hits you. And then it hits you. And then it hits you. And this is where every year in school, you go through something, right? If you really think about it in college, when was your best year of college? It's really hard to tell. It's bittersweet because you're always going through something in your life, right? So I went to the P2K boot camp in November, first week of the month. I was probably my second closest to chairman, right? Because I'm the closest to chairman now than I was then, right? And I met people from Puerto Rico. I met people all over, right? Ended up catching pneumonia. We're still trying to figure out. Ended up catching COVID, right? And not realizing it until 3 weeks later. So my whole time period of November, after coming back from the boot camp, I'm in a group chat. I'm seeing people talk about, oh, they're losing their freedom, they're losing their breath, all this crazy shit. And here I am, inches away from chairman. I'm literally like just started a new chapter in my life. Just moved. And now shit wants to crash and burn. When I tell you crash and burn, it did, right? So for the whole November, I had my team hate me for various reasons. Because of like lack of communication. But I wasn't communicating because I was literally dying. I was like, I don't know what's going on with me. I think I have something. I don't know. And I'm stubborn. I'm from New York. Nothing some Tylenol and some NyQuil can't fix. Bruh. A week before Thanksgiving, I was in the gym and I was doing back. And I swear I felt something like pop in my back. And I was like, what the hell is this? An hour later, I'm like, holy shit, I can't breathe. I'm panicking. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, this whole time I've been just having soups, chilling. My back started to swell, like like a knot. Like that shit started to swell, and I swear I almost passed out. I got driven to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, no, you didn't pull a muscle, but you popped a blood clot. I'm like, yo, how do I have a blood clot in my back? They're like, okay, well, we're gonna go into X-rays. They're like, hey, sir, how have you been functioning? I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been tired, but I'm still running my business, this and that. They showed me an X-ray, and about 60% of my lungs was filled with liquid. I'm here like, yo, I just came to the hospital. Y'all fix my back. I'm trying to get out of here. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'll catch y'all later. They said, no, you can't go nowhere. We got to keep you. You got to stay here overnight. Bro, overnight turned into 11 days in the hospital, 4 days in the ICU. It was like God told me, like, yo, bro, just go to the hospital. Right? I swear if I had went to sleep that night, I don't know. Like, I went to sleep because I realized, like, yo, why does my back hurt? And it was like, imagine working out and grinding and doing calls and everything, not knowing you're internally sick. That's the scariest shit ever. But I'm a trooper. I'm like, nah, okay, I don't got a cold. I don't got no phlegm. Yeah, this cough hurts, but the NyQuil gonna work. Not knowing, like, yo, bro, I never had pneumonia before, so I never knew whatever. They're like, yeah, this has been, you've had this for about 2.5 weeks. I dated back to wow. They were like, yeah, you also, I think you also have some, like, post symptoms of like COVID. I'm like, and I had COVID, and I'm here like, I'm telling myself I'm not working hard enough. So I spent Thanksgiving in the hospital. That's probably the most depressing shit I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what it's like to celebrate? I'm Black. You know what it's like to celebrate Thanksgiving in a hospital? Holy shit. That shit is different. That shit by yourself. I'm talking about ICU by myself. I'm like, oh my gosh. And at the same time, I got my team thinking they must think I'm on vacation. They think I'm in Dubai. I'm on the jet skis. Like, I don't know. But everything just started to crash and burn. On top of that, I deranked. Why? Yo, I wasn't checked into my business for 3 weeks. Of course. When I ended up getting out the hospital December 2nd, I was ready to quit this business. Once again, I didn't even realize Rhonda was still in Houston. I was ready to throw in the towel. I was ready to go back home. I was ready to do a lot of things. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna really become rich. I'm not gonna be able to become financially free. This shit is not gonna work. I told myself every single thing was not gonna work. And then I picked up a book. Right? And the book, literally, I'm gonna show it to you. It's called What's Your Plan B? Now, this book, it would teach you really how to have a home-based business in an economy. I have it pinned, right? And I'm gonna go to the chapter, right? Like, there's nothing I'm telling you is at random, right? Where is it? And I just want you to hear this statement. And it's from Courtney. Exactly 2 years ago, I was able to make a shift in my thinking in my business. And I realized that I am what Tony Robbins calls an artist. That means that I just really love what I do and have a passion to help people and make my craft better. That craft so happens to be accounting and tax strategy for small to medium-sized business. The shift in my life has happened because I attended an event Tony Robbins was at, and I realized the gift I had was unlike any other person I have ever met. Because I failed in business and I succeeded in different types of business, my skill set was completely different than the typical accountant. I read this and I said, this ain't shit. And the reason why, like, some of you guys would be like, that sounds like a random line in the book, this and that. But when I read this brought me back to my nightlife. This brought me back to pre-COVID when everything was going well. And then I lost my hookah company. I lost my entertainment company. I lost everything in New York. And I decided to take this opportunity serious. So when I read this book talking about what's your plan B, I'm like, this is my plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, all the way to Z. Because when I really wasn't prepared, this business came through because I came through. You can only reap what you sow, right? You can only benefit by what you put in. And from December 2nd to December 23rd or 24th, not only I still worked to get my rank back, but that was my biggest month trading. I made $31,000 in 2.5 weeks from my bed, drinking soup. There were my two cross lines. I mean, they're on my team now, but right? They literally helped me clean the crib and they fed me. Like, they cooked food for me. Like, I was literally like, I couldn't do shit. I couldn't even walk in Walmart from being in the hospital bed for 12 days. It was crazy, right? And I literally spent Christmas by myself, low-key by myself, right? And I remember December 26th, Boxing Day, I got my withdrawal and I had $20,000 in my account. And I said, sure, life is lonely, but this shit is one hell of a rodeo. I told myself in 2021, I'm gonna hit $500,000 at minimum. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, however long it takes, and with whoever it takes. It's giving you, I'm telling you, like, this is some real shit. In January, from January to now, and I'm not even telling you this shit on some income claim thing, right? But everything I'm just telling you, I can back it up because I got my documentation. I literally made like $280,000 from doing what I've been doing for the last almost 9 months. What I did last year, March, April, May, June, July, I 10x that. This March, April, May, June, about to be July. My 25th birthday is in like 3 weeks. And when I tell you, if besides God, just belief, it's crazy how when sometimes you want to quit, or sometimes you want to give up, you don't know how close you are to your next breakthrough. I had a major setback in November, and my life changed from there. Like I got a $50,000 watch in my hand. I would have never thought that was possible, but I got so great at trading, and I got so focused. It's like I found a new hunger. Like I realized, like, this wasn't a plan B. This is my only plan, and I went in, and I didn't stop. And that, along the journey, the greatest flexibility is really just knowing that this is for you. So sometimes you just got to accept. You got to accept what your life is, right? Nothing's going to be perfect, but you are you're one moment away, you're one decision away from changing your life. I have individuals. I have a young lady on my team. Actually, not a young lady. Well, she is a young lady, but she's a mom. And she signed up with me. And this is where it's like, yo, when you talk about really building and impacting, I didn't want to build for a period of time. I just wanted to focus on trading. And I spoke to Darwin, and he was like, bro, if you just trade, you're selfish. I never understood that. It really hit me a month and a half ago because I had an individual, if you're on my team, you know her as Kiara, right? She literally made $280,000. Now she's a mother. She's a single mother at that. Almost several months ago before that, she was in a shelter. So the one conversation I had with her and got her enrolled on my team, and she just decided to take every single thing I said, like to the death of her. She's now looking to move. She's taking out money to pay for her son will be going to I believe Morehouse in the fall. And I mean, her life is changed forever. So when you deny someone the opportunity to change your life, you really got to look at it and see how that plays on you. Because I've seen this in the last year. People's lives have changed that I've never thought would even. I never even thought people's lives would change like that. And it just showed me that this is for everyone, but it's not for anyone. And whoever takes it serious to that extent can achieve anything they want. Because not only did I see my battles, but I'm seeing people who was worse than me. Imagine going from a shelter to multiple six figures within a year. Oh my gosh, that's godly at that point. Like what? And it wasn't nothing difficult. They were just consistent. So this skill set will make you completely different. The skill set of building, the skill set of closing, the skill set of understanding where you're trying to is truly gonna change your life forever. But you have to accept that. This is what sophomore year is about. It's understanding the things you go through, but helping the freshmen get and yeah, we're gonna go overboard with this code. We probably, because Rhonda got to tell you her story too. But it's like you can't rush your success. And I'm sharing this information with you because it's only just beginning. Like we can actually all become millionaires together, right? If Rhonda could tell you, like I'm not even talking about like just the things, right? Everyone knows, like I'm talking about you can get into multiple avenues, right? Like I'll show you, for example, one of my favorite apps right now, Airbnb. I got Airbnb. I got several bookings on here. How did I do that? I took my trading money and I said, bet, I'm gonna put money aside, invest and get a rental property, put it on Airbnb, makes passive income. Boom. Rhonda, she's about to tell you her story. I'm not gonna talk for her. Boom, she's doing something similar. There's stuff that's overlapping. So if we doing this shit at P5000, what we gonna do at C500? That's the real question. If we are able to make these moves strategically before we're even a chairman, can you imagine when we hit chairman, what we're gonna be able to do? Can you imagine when you hit chairman, what you're gonna be able to do? That's the perspective every single one of you guys got to understand. I don't make $10,000 a month residually. Rhonda doesn't make $10,000 a month residually. $5,000 could barely pay for. I don't know. That's $5,000 is not a lot of money in reality, right? Right. The average that's only almost $70,000 a year. That's a regular job, basically out of college, right? If you have a degree. But I don't know if I had a job out of college paying me 60, could I still do the things I'm able to do because that trading skill set got us up $250,000. So I made out of salary money from a job experience, but it got me up $250,000. As a young Black male under the age of 25, there's a chance I could be on Forbes 30 under 30 at the rate I'm accelerating at. And I grew up in the hood, and I'm not selling drugs or doing doing no illegal shit. You got to be kidding me. You got to be killing me. And don't get me wrong, I love the trap life. That's something else. But it's like, the fact is I don't have to do it. There's a difference of wanting to do something and having to do something. Like, I had to trap to get to where I wanted to go. I had to. It was like, I didn't want to. It was like, oh, we stuck in the mud, and get out the mud. I get it how I get it, right? So I want to open your eyes, because I'm giving you just my perspective. But see, Rhonda, she's going to give you, and Rhonda's older. That's like my big sis. So she going to give you a perspective where you're just going to be like, bro, like, because reality, I wouldn't have gotten an Airbnb or started that process if I didn't talk to her and she puts things in perspective for me. I'm 24 years old. I'm not thinking about that. But because of this business, I'm able to align myself with individuals who may be older than me, who are more successful than me, who have more experience than me. And they're able to help me put me in a better position because of their knowledge and wisdom. So if that doesn't give you enough to want to be here, I don't know. Because literally, she gave me one website I can't even tell you what it is. And I was like, this website gonna change my life forever. And that was all from just building a relationship. She gave me a website that literally I could say I could make $1 million from. I said, wait, are you serious? And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is $1 million information. So you guys got to put yourself in a position and understand that this is a game of chess. All you're doing right now is positioning yourself one day at a time, one step at a time, one move at a time. And just because you see a move, it means look for the better move. Because you're not here to take the rook. You're not here to take the bishop. You're here to take the queen and check the king. That's what you're here. That's how you checkmate your life. That's how you become set for life. That's how you change your life. That's the real checkmate move. So I'm not going to keep going because I know I hit you guys with a lot. Exactly. The devil plays checkers, but God plays chess. Right? But I'm going to pass it over to Rhonda. And I want you as we transition, you better send this to your cross line, your up line, your down line. I don't even like those words. Someone that's in the business, even if they're not in the business, someone who just needs to hear information from people that look like you, talk like you, sound like you, and probably come from where you are and what they're able to do from one opportunity. Because this is not just about trading, or this is not just about building or recruiting or whatever category you want to put this in. This is about changing your life and making a difference in your life forever. Not temporary, forever. So if you don't see how serious that is, you got to wake up. But when I tell you, we 6 months done. We almost at 2022. What side of where you gonna be when 2022 hits? You guys realize you guys have a chance to at least be at 6 figures minimum. Every single one of you on this call. Some of you guys may even hit 7 figures in the next 6 months. Shit, it may even hit 8. Cause I go back, it ain't even been a year, and I'm like, how the hell can someone make this so much money? And it's not really a lot of money in a large perspective, but it's like, damn. From March to March, it was like, whoa. It's like God was like, bro, you stuck it through. I'm going to bless you even more. Because last year, March, I lost all my businesses. Literally, on March 12th, I did one of my biggest withdrawals of like $9,000 just in a day trading. And I was like, ain't this some money I lost last year? That's what I said. I was like, that's crazy. Because last year I lost about 15 grand in events and promotion. And I lost a storage unit by June because it was like I was paying for a storage unit for entertainment stuff. It was so crazy. And then it was like, I just let it go. Sometimes you just gotta let shit go. I let that shit go, and I left my faith in the God, and I believed in this system and this process. And I believe this is for me, and it's not against me. I don't care what someone thinks. I don't care what someone's experience was. To this day, I've had people who they tried, but they didn't give it their all, and they quit. Literally, I had two people I really loved that was in the trenches with me from last year. And they just never, they were consistent, but they weren't all in. Because this opportunity is not about being consistent. It's about being all in. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, no cap, you guys on this call, we got the opportunity to get on Go Live. And it's like, damn, this person left and they could have been a part of that process. And even if that process takes 6 months or 1 month, to be a Black educator on a platform educating the masses, like, do you not see the perspective I'm trying to show you guys right now? The shit that is not normal is becoming normal. So to make this even more normal, I'm going to pass this off to Rhonda. I'm sorry for taking up all the time talking, but she's about to drop it even more. And I want you guys to understand the value she has, because if you actually listen to her, build a relationship with her, she will make you richer than you can imagine. Because just off of the conversations I have with her and the information she has, I'm like, oh my God, so much money. I want to cry. I'm like, oh, this shit is lit. This is really lit. Oh, this is superb. Oh yeah, I gotta go do this now because I know what to do with this money. So appreciate y'all. I'm gonna pass it up to Rhonda so she can kill it. And let's run it. We're gonna run it another 20, 30 minutes and just leave Q&A for the end, and that's it. We call it a good night and enjoy the weekend.
My goodness. Drop sevens, drop fire, drop whatever emoji that you're feeling right now for the man, the myth, the freaking legend. Yo, when I met this guy and he told me the trials and the tribulations after the fight, after we fought, but after that, it was like, how? Like how, bro? Like, how are you still here? How are you still pushing? How are you still fighting? How are you still getting this stuff done? It's almost unbelievable. At 24 years old, this young man is not even 25, y'all. Did you hear him say that? His birthday is coming up. He's not 25 yet. And he's endured so much and he's still pushing. Like he said, it's not about the trading. The trading just happened, right? It happened. But he had to go through things. He had to push through things. He had to fight through his life. He had to fight for his life, literally. And he still did the business. This man has never let off the gas. Like I call him every day. We talk every day. And this dude's up early, sleep late, grinding, team calls, putting in trade. Shout out the Money Heist, right? Money Heist, Envy Nick, Platinum, right? They're doing amazing things for the whole trading community at 24 years old, making the kind of income he makes, no income claims, right? You would think somebody at that age
Rhonda, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Yeah, y'all can hear her? I'm not bugging. See, it's that Houston service. That bad boy be swinging in and out. It be swinging in and out. Don't worry, stay on. Look, God, listen, God's testing us right now, man. He testing us, man. He's trying to see who will stay tapped in. I'm telling you, it's like trading, right? You hop in the session, you lose a trade, lose 2 trades. You stay on the session, you go 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Everything is just patience. Everything is a test. Everything is a test, guys. Like, think about it, right? If you don't test yourself now, when are you gonna test yourself? right? That's what you want to ask yourself. If you don't test yourself now, when are you going to test yourself? Once you figure that out, it's go time. So Rhonda's back on. There she is. There she is.
All right, I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let me fix this, y'all.
She got the aliens with her.
They don't want me to put the story out. That's all this is. They're like, nah, don't give them the juice. Don't give them. They don't want the sauce. I don't know what's happening, but I apologize. I apologize about that. But we're tapped in, and again, like I said before, just being super diligent, being extremely coachable, and that's the reason why we're doing this call. Now, do I have permission to keep it all the way real? I'm about to lock this call because some things I'm gonna show you tonight, it ain't for everybody. Let me lock this call real quick. Let me lock this call, right? Everybody can't see what I'm about to be on because I'm about the receipt. See, DP, he just talked to you. I'm about the real and exposing the real. I'm gonna let you know it's really good and just let you know that this journey is not easy, guys. This stuff is hard. But if you want to make a lot of money, it's going to be hard. You can't expect to be a millionaire trader without discipline, without going through something, without losing some trades. You can't expect to be a chairman, 10,000, 25, 50, 100,000 without going through some things, right? We get paid to solve problems. We get paid to figure it out. If you're losing your mind right now and you don't even have anybody in your business, what are you going to do at P2000 when you have 75 people? What are you going to do at Chairman 10 when you have 500 people? You got to figure it out. And that's exactly what DP just showed you. And that's exactly what I'm about to get into and show you right now. Now, understand this, guys. I am a little older than most people in the industry, right? I'm 35 years old. I'll be 36 years old, 4th of July coming, right? And I've done a lot. I've done this college thing, undergrad, went to a HBCU, lived it up, turned up, went crazy, did some crazy stuff. I did that. Graduated, went and got the master's degree because that's what everybody says, right? Get the master's degree, boom, 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 do that. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, do that. Entertainment business and graphics and marketing. I learned all that stuff, right? Went to one of the top schools, right? Full Sail University in Florida, did that, master's degree. Got out of school and I'm like, okay, well, what else? I was never really happy and I already knew like, okay, there has to be more because this job thing, I'm just not happy. I don't like it. I've actually walked out on every job that I had. Every job that I have, I actually left. In the middle of the shift or whatever it was, I actually left. And I mean, I can say that now. I don't need it anymore. But I think I've quit every single time. I was a teacher. I'm gonna tell you all this story. I was a teacher. I left at lunchtime. I left at lunch, dropped the kids off and left. The lady called me like, yo, are you okay? Are you sick? I was like, nah, this is just not for me. And at that point, when I quit that job, I knew that was the end for me because I didn't want to be there with those kids, knowing that I didn't want to be there with those kids, right? And I was just like, that's it. And that was the last job I ever had. And I said, okay, I could never do that again because that's like torture. That's truly like torture. I could probably say that was the lowest time in my life. It was actually working a 9-to-5 job. Every day I hated it. Traffic, I hated it. If you live in Houston, if you know about Houston, traffic is horrible. Almost 2 hours to get there. Then go there, being with people I don't like, having to talk to people and I don't want to be around. Then getting off, driving 2 hours. It was just, I didn't like it. And I was doing that every day. And I was like, this can't be my life. I can't do this for 20 years, 40 years. I can't do that. So I was like, okay, cool. When I left that job, I knew from there that I was going to have to figure this thing out, right? And my story doesn't stop there. You know, I went on, I started a clothing line. I started my marketing business. So I have a marketing business now that I've had for over 12 years now, you know, marketing and graphics and photography and videography. That's what I learned in school. So I was like, okay, I can do this. And, you know, and entrepreneurship is scary because you're like, okay, some days are good. Some months are great and some months are not that good. You could be up 1 month and then the next month you're not getting any clients or business is slow. So it was that hustle and that grind that I knew I had to have in order to make these things happen. I wasn't going back to a job. I knew that. So every day it was like, okay, this is what I got to do. Wrote all my bills out. And I said, okay, what do I need to make monthly? What does that look like? Okay, cool. Break that down into weeks. Break that down into days. Every single day I got up. Nobody had to wake me up. Nobody had to tell me what to do or where to be every day. Some days I made 3 or 4 times the amount I needed to make. So money, it wasn't the fear of making the money. It was the fear of working a job. I was like, I can't do that. So I know I have to do something else. Right. So that took me further into my career. And then I had a record label. I had 5 artists, we had deals, we did the whole thing. We were actually going viral before viral was a thing because I had went and got my master's in marketing. I used that on my label when people weren't even going viral. When we were on YouTube going viral before it was a thing. So that was never an issue, right? So we did that. And then if you know anything about the music industry, I got fat. I got hella fat because I was in the strip clubs. I'm at the studio, drinking, eating, traveling. So then I said, man, this ain't it, because I've always been an athlete, right? I've been an athlete. So that lifestyle, it started to wear on me. And I started to realize, okay, man, this is a lot. Like, I got to keep up. That's why I tell DP, right? DP, I've been in that, like, strip clubs every night, studios till the sun comes up. I've done those things already, right? I've already experienced that stuff before, right? So I did all that and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what it is. I look up, coming from being an athlete my whole life, I'm 60 pounds overweight. I'm in the worst shape of my life. I feel like crap. I'm tired. I'm sleepy all the time. My energy is low. And this is not normal for me because I've always played a sport. I've always been active, but life just started happening. The money was coming. Everything was good. All that stuff was cool. Then I said, boom, okay, cool. That happened. I started working out. I was like, all right, cool. This is what it is. I can do this. I was going to a park by myself every day, going to a park. Next thing I know, a couple of ladies pull me to the side and like, can we work out with you? And I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's like 3 of us. Then it turned into 5, 10, 20, 30. After a while, guys, we were doing fit camps 5 days a week and we had over 60 people every single day. 60 plus people at a park. Mind you, I'm doing it for free. I wasn't charging anybody anything. I'm like, shit, I'm already out here. I'm already working out. So yeah, y'all can come. They started getting results. They started telling people. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, okay, the park literally tells us we're too big and we get kicked out of the park. They said, you're taking over the parking lot. You have too much stuff going on. You can't be here. I'm like, well, can I just get a permit? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. This is 2 years in. I did 2 years in a park, 5 days a week, showing up for other people, not myself. I could have easily just went to the gym. I could have easily just worked out. At this point, I'm carrying people on my back because they came because of me. Monday through Friday, no matter what, rain, sleet, snow, we were out there. And I show up, I'm there 20 minutes early before they even get there. Showing up, right? And now it's 2 years in, we've outgrown the park, we've got crazy results. I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna do this thing. Go get certified to be a trainer. Boom. Then I go and purchase a gym. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna really do this thing. I was scared because I was like, man, everybody's gonna leave. They're not gonna want to move with me. Because I moved almost 45 minutes away from my initial spot. We moved almost out. So I'm like, I don't know if people are gonna move with me. I don't know. Whatever. Let's do it. People were like, no, don't do that. That's too risky. Mind you, that's what I do. I like risk. I like proving people wrong. But watch me do it. So I went and did a gym. I said, okay, cool. Found the worst freaking property ever that used to be a cleaner's. So now I gotta gut the whole gym, take everything up, tear it down, do all this stuff. People are like, no, that was a wait. Why did you do that? Don't just watch me. Just keep watching, right? People are in my corner. So I said, okay, I got y'all. Let's run. You believe in me, I believe in you. Let's run. So I opened a gym. Now I'm a gym owner. The money is great at this point. Money is good. People are getting results. I have tons of clients. They're paying monthly. This is great. But I'm doing this for about 2 years and I realized I don't have time anymore. I don't have time. Now I'm in great shape. I got 6-pack. I'm, man, the smallest I've ever been. I'm jumping and running. I'm doing crazy stuff at this point. Money is not a problem. Making money, but I didn't have time. And I was like, damn, like I'm here all day, every day. Literally all day, every day at the gym. Because I have classes in the morning all the way to the night. And there's like a little time in between, but it's not enough time. So I was always like, okay, what am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do? What can I do to make more money? And somebody told me about this opportunity multiple times. I had seen people online and they were like, doing this, because I've always done network marketing, along with everything else. So he was like, yo, you need to come. I turned it down multiple times. Like, no, thank you. Then I actually said yes one day. I don't even know why I said yes. I said yes. I got signed up. This was 2017. I got signed up. I came into the business and I was just like, okay, this is cool. But mind you, I'm all the way submerged into the gym life, fitness life. Like it was life. Like literally, it was life. 2017, I was like, okay, I'll try it. But I wasn't fully in. And then when I came into the business, it was just like, it was kind of messy. There was no organization. We didn't have the Go Live. We didn't have the Harmonic Scanner. We didn't have none of that stuff. This is when the company was black and green, and gray. If you remember that, you know, nothing, like zero. I wasn't a trader. So I was like, I don't really understand this. My heart's still at the gym. I did it for like probably 3 weeks, maybe a month. And I was just like, yeah, I'm out, right? I left. Keep in mind, I was actually signed up in Cash the Great's organization. I didn't even know. I didn't even know whose organization I was in because the guy I signed up with just signed me up. We had like one meeting and then he was just gone. And I was just like, well, I don't know this trading thing. I don't really know what it is. And I wasn't really fully in. I was still running my gym. So it was like, this was just extra. Tried it, did a little bit, but it just wasn't for me. So I actually quit. I quit and I went back to the fitness. And I was just like, man, I'm just gonna, I can't do both. I can't do both. It's just too much learning. I'm just gonna do the gym thing. And that's what I did. I did the gym thing, did the gym thing. It wasn't until one day, Cash the Great, shout out Cash the Great, right? He hits me up in my DM and he was like, yo, I see you doing your thing. He's like, I want you to join my team. I was like, no, bro, I already did that. In my mind, I'm like, I already did that. No, I'm good. Hit me again. He was hitting me like, yo, I want you to join my team. We can really run. And I was just like, no, I was like all the way against it. It wasn't until April 2018, Cash, Slice, OT, they all came to Houston and they threw an event in Houston. And Cash called me and he was like, yo, come to my event. Now, mind you, I was like telling this dude like, no, bro, I'm not signing up with you. But this goes to show you that you should be persistent. Cash was very persistent. It wasn't in like an annoying way, but he was like, yo, I'm trying to put you on. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, like, don't miss the wave. Yo, boom, boom, boom. Like, whatever. So boom, he has an event, April 2018, right? And like I said, I'm gonna show proof. I don't believe in the hype. This is what happened. Cash the Great comes to Houston. He has an event. I do videography and photography. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to this event. I'm gonna take my camera and I'm gonna record. I go to the event. I'm not in the business. I'm not in the business at 2018. I'm not signed up yet. And I was like, okay, this dude keeps hitting me up. I guess I'll go to the event. Took my camera and I recorded the event. You see the date, April 20th, 2018. I uploaded it to my YouTube. Wasn't in the business at all. I put it up right next the same day, put it up. Cash called me like, yo, you finished that video already? You knocked the video out already? He's like, yo, that's crazy. He's like, yo, we gotta work. We gotta work. So again, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I really don't want to do it. I'm over it. I'm good, right? And they go about their business. And at this point now, I'm watching him. I'm watching Slice because now I'm on their radar. They're on mine. And at this point, I'm at the gym and I'm still kind of like, okay, now I'm starting to get really tired of being there all the time. It's like very, very demanding. And I'm like, okay, now I need something different. Okay. So it's like right time, right place. That's why, guys, you have to stay, when you have a prospect and you hit them up, understand their no just means not right now. Because that's what my no was. It just wasn't right then. I just wasn't in the place to receive it at that time. But when I was ready, I was following them already. And I just kept seeing Cash posts. I kept seeing Slice posts. I kept seeing them level up and level up and level up. And I was like, damn, if I would have joined them back in the day, I would be up right now, right? But it was like, okay, I was in the gym. I'll never forget the day I was in the gym and I was like tired in between clients. And I was like, man, I can't do this no more. I got to find something else. And it's like a post popped up, Cash popped up. And I was like, yo, tell me more about this, right? He's like, yeah, I got you. So boom, we talk, whatever. He was like, yo, just get signed up. We're going to take over Houston. We're going to take over Houston. Right. And I'm like, okay, bro, that sounds cool. And mind you, I had already had like, I knew how to build organizations. I knew how to build teams. I knew how to do that kind of stuff. So he felt like, okay, I'm going to run with you. We can really kill this thing. Right. So I was like, okay, whatever. Right. So I'm going to show you guys this. Like I said, I like receipts. Right. Let's see. This is the day I got signed up, August 5th, 2019. I went to the event in April. I didn't get signed up until August the 5th. This is my first sign up date right here, 225. Got signed up August 5th, 2019. So from April 2018 to August 2019, I was a no. I was like, no, I'm straight. No, good. I'm good. Please stop contacting me. Leave me alone, bro. Right? No, nothing. And this whole time, I'm still running my gym. I'm still running my gym. I'm still having fit camps. I'm still doing workouts. I'm still not even halfway in, halfway out, maybe a quarter. I'm still doing my thing. And Cash is like, no, come on, we can do this. Then after that, he just stopped hitting me. Cause I guess he was like, oh, she signed up, but she probably ain't gonna do nothing. Well, he was probably right? Because I really wasn't on that. So I'm like, all right, cool, that happened, got signed up. And then a few weeks later, I go on to hit P150. P150, August 22nd, 2019. Mind you, Cash stopped talking to me because I guess I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really answering him. I wasn't really on that, but I knew how to build businesses. I knew how to build teams. I knew how to do that. So I wasn't looking for a handout. I wasn't looking for someone to hold my hand. I didn't need anybody. At that time, I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I understand that this guy has a bunch of people in his business and he has a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not going to go and bother him. I'm not going to go and knock his door down trying to get help. I'm just going to grind. So August 5th got started. August 22nd hit P150. And then you can see it from there. It just kept going up. September 19th, P600. No Cash to Great, no Slice to Narrow, didn't know Vic Marie, didn't know, these are all my uplines. Didn't know any of them. Cash and I talked when we were in Houston, that was it. Right after that, I said, bet, I'm gonna level it up. And I go to the 225 Lifestyle in Atlanta. August 24th, 2019. I tell them the people that I have signed up, hey, let's go to Atlanta to this event. Nobody goes. Nobody. I go by myself to Atlanta to a convention. At this time, I'm P600, and nobody went. I couldn't get anybody to go with me, but I didn't need anybody to go with me because it was my job to go get the information and bring it back to my team. That was my job. That was the assignment on my life was, okay, there's nobody going with you. Cool, no problem. I'm going to go alone. I literally went to this event alone, got an Airbnb, caught an Uber to the event, sat in the back of the room by myself. I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't even talk to Cash. I spoke to him in crossing, but that was it. Spoke to him in passing. He didn't even know the P600. Didn't even know. But I wasn't looking for anybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna grind with you. So right now in your journey, guys, just think about that. Like, you don't need anybody to hold your hand. You can go and do whatever you need to do by yourself. You can do it. You don't need somebody to say, oh, this is right, this is wrong. I'm pretty sure I messed up a lot. I'm pretty sure I could have done things differently. I'm pretty sure that was probably an easier method. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna just prove myself. Because the first time when I signed up in 2017, I didn't do anything. And then I left with a bad taste in my mouth when it was like, well, you didn't do anything either, Rhonda. Like, you can't sit here and blame them. You can't sit here and talk about the organization or the company when you didn't do anything. I quit. And that's why I tell people all the time, it's like, you can't expect your upline and these leaders who put in the time and put in the grind to be holding your hand and calling you every day and checking on you every day. And they have a ton of people in their business. You're not the only person in their business. I needed to show myself first. I needed to prove to them that I was worth them working with. And that's all I wanted to do was like, look, I'll do this. I'll grind it out. So August went to the 225 Lifestyle. Cash didn't know, we didn't, whatever. It's cool, right? Mind you, I'm still in my gym. Check the date, August 29th, right? 2018 was still doing my thing, still locked in, right? So we go through all that time. I'm just bumping my head, literally figuring it out. We went through different team names. People came, people left, lost P6, went back down. But I was just figuring things out. Mind you, this whole time, I was literally learning how to trade. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I started in 2017 when I first got started. I started dibbling and dabbling, but I was hard-headed. This is right around the time Bitcoin started booming. I was throwing money in my account and I was losing. I probably lost $10,000 in a couple of months. not knowing what I was doing. And I had left the academy thinking I could do it on my own. I don't need that. It's confusing. I can do it on my own. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do that, right? Hard-headed. Lost more money than I probably needed to because I was trying to do it on my own before I came back to the company, right? So I was like, all right, cool. Lost all that money, did that. That was that September? No, not September, August, right? So we did that. Then that went all the way through. So I was like, I'm gonna keep grinding. This whole time I'm just grinding it out, figuring it out. But during this time, I was like perfecting trading. I was getting better. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Now I'm making some money. All the money that I had lost, I started making it back. So that's why I tell you guys, like, don't look at the money that you lost trading, because that comes with trading, right? But a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to use the demo account because I learned my lessons live. Oh, okay. Learn the lesson live. Go right ahead, right? That was me. Learned the lesson live. Lost. Low. I became a professional depositor. All I was doing is depositing money. Depositing. I'm like, damn. And then I started thinking, this ain't for me. This trading thing don't work. I don't know what's going on, right? We've all been there. So then I said, okay, cool. I'm just gonna study, grind. That's what I was doing. I was literally studying to sundown every single day. Like I was just stuck to the computer, like marking up charts, support, resistance, floor, ceiling. I don't know what none of this shit means. I'm not talking about notebooks. I got multiple notebooks, guys. I can show you where I was just taking notes, trying to figure out trading. Because I was like, okay, I want to be a okay trader at least. You know what I mean? So in the time, I'm still trying to, build my business, but I'm still trying to learn trading too. Now, the trading was harder than building the business. I'll tell you that for sure. And then mind you, I'm only a P150, P600. That wasn't doing nothing to my trading account because the amount of money I had already lost, I was blowing that too, blowing right through it. I was like, well, damn, that 3750 is gone. That 150 is gone, just losing it because I just wasn't picking it up. So, but I knew that I had to stay consistent. So I finally found my groove toward the end of the year, and I was like starting to be back into profit, win profit. And I feel more confident. All right, cool. So once I got there, then when I was talking to people couldn't tell me anything. Oh, you can't tell me shit. Like, oh, I'm a trader now. I got it, right? So now when I'm talking to people, I'm like, okay, come, do this, show my business, this, that, and the other. And then things started to pick up a little bit more. So now it's like January, January comes and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm really ready to run now. I really want to just run, go crazy. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? How do I reinvent? How do I do this thing? So I'm like, okay, I'm always thinking about how to like stand out. How do you reinvent yourself to stand out in the crowd? We all are in IM. There's a bunch of people in IM. What makes somebody want to join me over the next person? What makes somebody want to do this over that? So it's like, okay, these people have their foot in the game already. What can I do to stand out? So I said, okay, I'm going to do something called No Broke College Students. Some of you may have heard this story, some of you may have not, right? So No Broke College Students, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm writing it out. I'm talking to the team, shout out Ellie, someone who's been running with me from day one. This person, Ellie is a writer. No matter what I tell her, she's like, okay. And she's right there, right? Like, so I was like, okay, Ellie, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do No Broke College Students. She's like, okay. All right. So we map it out. We write it out. And in our minds, we were like, okay, we're going to do a tour. We're going to do a college tour. But what we're going to do is start in Houston because I went to TSU. It's located in Houston. I know people on the campus. I can probably move around a little easier before I jump out there and try to go to other schools. I needed some proof. I needed social proof first. So I'm going to start close to home. So we map out a plan. We do all that. And I said, okay, you know what? February 1st, we're going to do a big event. This is going to be like our kickoff event. It's going to be the No Broke College Student kickoff event, right? So at this point, I'm starting to get Cash's attention. Now he's starting to pay attention. I say, yo, I'm going to do an event called No Broke College Students. He's like, oh yeah, that's live. That's dope. Let's do that. I got you. We hang up the phone. He calls me back probably like 20 minutes later. And he says, I got all the speakers. I said, wait, what? He's like, I got all the speakers. Just make the flyer. He gets me Slice De Niro. He gets me Chairman 100, right? Garrett Roberts, Rich Off the Net. And he gets me Ty the God, current Chairman 50, Ty the God. He gets me all these people. Mind you, I'm still like a P6. So remember, I was Z-ranking this whole time, up and down. So now I'm like a P6. And this is February. So the event's supposed to be February the 1st. You see the flyer. So we're lit. We go and make look. We go and make tickets. We do the tickets, and we like, okay, look, we're gonna do 5,000 tickets, and we're gonna go crazy at all the colleges. We're gonna go to all the colleges, and we're just gonna go in and just go flood the schools. Mind you, I've been out of school, right? I didn't have any college students at the time. I was like, okay, well, the people I have, they didn't go to college. They didn't know anything about college. But we're like, all right, bet. We just gonna figure it out. We're just gonna figure that out. So shout out Diego. Diego's on the call. I told Diego, look, bro, we're gonna go to the colleges and we just gonna pass out flyers. Right. So I went and found a venue. The venue was like, okay, cool. That sounds great. You just gotta pay this. We got a DJ. We did all this stuff. Cash flew in. He calls me. He's like, hey, we're here. We'll be there tonight, whatever. So everybody's in the city. We're getting ready to start the event. The flyer says, what time do we start? 6 o'clock, right? The flyer says 6 o'clock. 5:30, we're there. The DJ set up. Everything is good. The manager comes and says, there's a gentleman outside. He's 19 years old. I said, okay. He's at our bar, our club, whatever the venue, with 21 and up. Mind you, I told the guy that I booked the venue with that it's going to be a college event and I needed it to be 18 and up. He tells me at 5:30 that there's nothing he can do and he's going to call and talk to the manager for me. But at this point, people are showing up. Cash is already here. Cash, Garrett, Ty, Slice, they're here. They're just waiting around, like, okay, what's happening? People are coming. They're lining up outside. They're coming. And the bouncer guys is like, nobody can get in. So only like maybe 4 or 5 people got in because they were of age. Mind you, this is a college event. So most of the people were 18, 19, 20. So I'm just like, well, why would you tell me that? So at this point, I'm like getting upset. But I'm like, okay, I got to keep my cool. I'm the host, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I tell Cash what's going on. And he was like, just go talk to him, see what happens. So I go outside, pulls up in a Lambo. Garrett drove from San Antonio, Texas. It's a 2.5-hour trip. He drove from San Antonio to the event with his daughter, right? His daughter, his fiance at the time, and they drive to Houston for me, for an event. I'm just like, oh my God. And you're telling me we can't do this, right? Parking lot event. Somebody said parking lot game. The parking lot, the way it's set up, it's like the event is here and the 2 sides are another building. So it's like, we couldn't even do it there. Then across the street was a bunch of stuff. It was just a lot, right? So I'm like, okay, now it's like 6:30. More people are showing up. They're just waiting outside, like, what's going on? Cash is like, yo, what we gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I break down crying. Cause I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. All these people are showing up. I've wasted these people's time. Garrett drives all the way out here. I'm just like, oh my God, I just break down. So Slice pulls me to the side. He's like, "What?" And I'm just like, bro, like, I failed. Like, damn, I failed. He's like, nah, you're good. He's like, look what you did. He's like, look at all the stuff that you did on your own. What are you crying about? Like, cheer up, you're good. We will stay and do an event for you. They said they would stay for a whole nother day for me. He was like, redo the flyer. We'll pull up tomorrow. We'll do the event, this, that, and the other. But at this time, in my mind, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm over it. I'm not even paying attention. So I just go in, I tell everybody, like, yo, I'm sorry, we can't do the event. This, that, and the other. We're going to let you guys know when the event's going to be rescheduled. So Cash pulls me over. He's like, yo, don't trip. We're going to do it. You're going to be fine. He's like, I got you. He said, I got you. Don't worry. So at that point, I knew, like, okay, these individuals see my grind. They see me working, and they wouldn't have said we if they didn't really like mean it. You know what I mean? Like, it took me having to step out and go and do. And now these guys got my back. To this day, I can call any one of those guys on the phone and ask for anything. Hey, can you do a call for me tomorrow? Can you do a call for me tonight in 30 minutes? Be like, oh, why? But I got you, right? So that relationship was built off of the grind. I didn't call Cash with an idea. Maybe I want to do an event. No, I had the event laid out. I wasn't even going to use any speakers. It was just going to be myself and the team. He called me and said he got the speakers for me. So it's like being present and just showing up and grinding and working means more than you calling somebody on like just some emptiness. Oh, nobody's helping me. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing that. Just grow. Just go. Just keep running. no matter what, right? So we do the no broke college student thing. That was dope, whatever, right? But we got shut down. So we go back to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give up. I started going in DMs, y'all. DMs. I found a young man, and shout out to him, you know, because he was one of my first runners who believed in the no broke college student movement. I was sending DMs. So if you're not sending DMs, shame on you. DMs to anybody who had like a college, school, or a hashtag. And I found this individual. It was late. It was probably like 2:00 in the morning. You see the date, February 20th. Our event was supposed to be February 1st. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna redo the event, but this time I'm gonna get a bunch of college students signed up first before I run the event again. So now it would be like them passing it out and talking, right? So boom, I sent him a DM. He was trying to sell me on some candy stuff. I was like, look, bro, just come to my event. At this point, I'm doing events every couple of days at an office. I got an office space. Myself, Diego, and another person, we got an office space, and we were just doing events like every week. We were doing multiple events, just pulling up. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, pull up. You can see where I said pull up. This is my number. He comes. This guy comes in, 19 years old, comes in and goes nuts. He goes crazy. I'm talking every day. He's packing out the office. We got a small office just for like the conference room, and we were packing it out every day, packing it out. And then it was just like, it was getting too big, and what people were saying there was too much traffic coming to the office and, you know, all this stuff. Shout out Andrea getting her first Seattle office, right? Shout out to her for grinding and doing that, because the office will work, right? But we were just bringing too much traffic, and the office building was like more of a prestigious place, and they were just like, it's too much. So we're like, all right, forget it. So we were like, okay, the dude Ricky, right? Shout out to him. We were like, we're gonna do it on campus. So we started doing events at the campus and the library. Now, you know, the library has meeting rooms. So they have a bunch of meeting rooms. So we were just booking out all the meeting rooms. The rooms could only hold probably like 10 people. So we were doing op events every 30 minutes. And we would have multiple op events running in every room. So we were like, look, no matter what, this is gonna get done. So we did that. And we're just doing events. So at that point, we did 30 to 35 signups in about 2 to 2.5 weeks from one campus, from one school. So we're like, okay, we lit, right? Shout out Thaddeus, who's one of the college students who signed up from coming to our event in the library, right? He was walking by, somebody was like, hey, come to the event. They pulled him in the room, he came in, and now he's in the team, right? So it just goes to show you guys, you have to do whatever it takes. Building, outside, inside, whatever it takes, right? So now we're doing that. Now, no broke college students is growing. We're like, okay, all right, cool. We're really doing this thing. It's working. No worries. We're good. We don't have to worry about anything. So we really start amping it up. We go crazy. We build a page. We start doing all that. We're putting videos. We're going. Now our vision is like, okay, we can start going to other schools. Other schools is dope. We can do that, right? We're thinking we're on a roll, right? We figured it out. Next thing happens, we go to March Madness in New York, right? This is March 12th. March Madness was in New York. Myself, Ellie, a couple of other people, we were all in New York. We go out there. This is how I knew New York people was crazy, right? This is why I got my first taste of the New York lifestyle. I knew it wasn't all there, right? So I go out there, we get off the plane, and they say freaking March Madness was canceled because of COVID. This is the beginning of COVID. COVID, we didn't even know what it was, right? This is March 12th. We didn't know what COVID was. We didn't know anything about that. So we're like, wait, what? Like, we fly all the way out here. Ricky had just hit P1000. He had never flown before. We get out, it's cold. We're just like, well, what are we gonna do now? Like, we're here. We're not gonna get back on the plane and go home. So we were thinking like COVID thing was gonna be just light, right? We were like, oh, whatever, you know, it'll pass. We thought Jason and Matt had canceled March Madness because they wanted to just be safe. You know, we weren't thinking about it. We get out there, we're like, cool, Thursday. You see the date, type the date, right? Thursday. We get out there and we just started just being like, okay, what are we gonna do now? So we're just like grinding, we're going out, we're prospecting, but we notice the city is like dying down. We're like, okay, well, what's happening? 2 days into it, we're all in one Airbnb. We're all stuffed into an Airbnb. Ricky, I swear to this day, Ricky had COVID. Like, he was coughing, going through it, fever, like chills, hoodie. Mind you, we're all in one Airbnb together. So I think that's the beginning of COVID for me that I've ever seen, was right next to me. So we're out there, and then they start saying they're gonna shut the city down. So now Times Square is empty. There's nothing. It's crazy. It's almost like a ghost town. And we were like, okay, is this thing real? We're on the train. The train station is empty. We're like, I'm talking about there's nobody in there, but we're still in New York. And then they start saying they're gonna shut it down. They're gonna shut the city down. They're gonna shut the airports down. So we're panicking because we're like, well, I don't want to get stuck out here. You know, we want to go home because now it's getting real. COVID's really getting real. So we're like, okay, cool. What are we gonna do? So we make it home, and then that's when COVID really happened. The world shut down. Everything shuts down. So it puts a halt on no broke college students, right? We can't do that anymore. We can't go outside. We can't do any of that stuff. We can't do anything. So we go back to the lab and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do, guys? Right. So at this point we had ran up, we P1000 at this point. So we got enough people. I was like, hey, look, guys, we got to figure this out. What are we gonna do? So we're game planning. You know, this is why I love my leaders so much, because they actually help me. You guys got to find somebody to run with, people who believe in this business as much as you believe in it, and pour everything that you have into them. Give them everything. My last dollar, my leaders can have it. My house is not my house. My car is not my car. It belongs to my leaders, because they're the ones who keep me going. They're the ones who help me when things are hard. So we really just game plan. Okay, we're in the house. Everybody's spread out. All the college kids go home because they weren't living. They were in school just for school. So when COVID happened, everybody had to go home. So my whole college leg falls apart. I'm P1000 at this point. I lose my whole college leg. Zero. I think Thaddeus was the only one left. Maybe one, right? College legs go is just crazy. Some of the people on the team lose faith. Some of the people, they don't, they've let things bother them and they leave, and that's cool. No problem. But the runners, we're running. We figure this thing out. And what we do is we go to the drawing board, right? We go to the drawing board and we come up with a new schedule online. All we can do is online. We can't do nothing else. So we said, okay, bet. You see the schedule in front of you. This is what we used for COVID, during the COVID. When everybody was at home, all we could do was work on the internet. There was no meetings. We couldn't go. People were scared for their life. So that's why when DP said everything he did it in the pandemic. Can you imagine what he's going to do when the world opens up? We literally hit P5000 August 30th, 2020. August 30th, 2020, we hit P5000 in the house. I couldn't even celebrate because I was in the house. Like, we on Zoom having a turn up because it was COVID. But we use this schedule that you see in front of you. You see the days every day. Every day we're doing something multiple times a day. Demo account stuff, signals, and London. Shout out Jug if he's still on this call. Jug is someone who held me down during the pandemic and was just like, yo, whatever, however we got to do it, bro. I got you. He would pull up. We weren't even supposed to be around each other. Jug was like, yo, however we got to do it, bro. I was like, bet. Right. So shout out to him, because he's someone who really held it down, and he's a phenomenal freaking trader. Right. So we had this schedule. We ran it. We just started getting creative, like literally getting creative. COVID recovery boot camp, May 18th. Like, we just trying to come up with stuff. Okay, this is like an online convention. This is exactly what this was. Like, this is not that far, but we had one for COVID recovery, right? So we had that going on. We had schedules on schedules. We were always like just fixing it and figuring out, okay, what do we do? How do we adjust? What is this? What is that? We didn't let the pandemic stop us. We didn't let that be the reason or the thing that just was like, oh, we just got to stop. Oh, we got to quit. We started creating more and more and more and more in the pandemic, right? We did that. Then we had the MMO tailgate. If you guys came out to the MMO tailgate, you understand the magnitude of that. We brought 3,000 people out in a pandemic. We weren't even supposed to do that. It was so hard. We had to go find a ranch. We found a ranch, and then it rained the day before. I'm talking about rain, flood rain. The day before the actual event, we were supposed to be outside on a ranch to do a tailgate. We couldn't even put the stage up because the ground was so wet. To close off half of the ranch just to have the event because the ground was still soaking wet. I'm calling the guy. Mind you, Cash is still in Atlanta. We're planning the event in Houston. So we're just on the phone. Cash isn't here. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, I'll call you back. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to call you back. This whole time I'm P2 running. I'm still running the P5000. Still running the online schedule every single day because I don't believe in just making my team do things. I do it and they do it with me. I don't say, oh, you guys do it. No, we do it together. So I'm still doing an online schedule. I'm still doing that. And then we're doing a tailgate that we planned in less than a month. We planned the whole tailgate in 3 weeks. If you went to tailgate, drop a 7 in the chat. If you went to tailgate, drop a 7 in the chat. So you understand what you, on the outside, it looked great. It looked amazing. We were going through it, but nobody could ever tell. You have to be willing to adjust and just keep going. None of the outside stuff matters. My grandmother got sick, rushed to the hospital the day before the tailgate. I'm the one hosting the tailgate with Cash, planning, getting stuff done. I have amazing leaders helping me, holding it down. And then my grandmother gets sick. Like sick. Like I'm talking about sick, right? So the whole time my mind is on that. I'm this close to P5, right? I'm in it. And then it's just a lot, right? I'm just a lot. And I'm just trying to just figure this thing out. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. But we pulled it off and it happened, and now it will go down in history forever. But nobody knew the backstories. Nobody knew what it took and how it happened. They just know it happened. So coming out of the tailgate, we went moving forward, all that stuff. The world started opening up a little bit more, and that's kind of how we were just able to sustain, building the team back up because people left. We lost a lot of people, still building it up, and then I started to connect with DP. We started connecting. We started saying, okay, look, let's talk more. Let's do this more, right? Building that relationship. It wasn't solid tight in the beginning, but I was like, hey, you're in Houston, I'm in Houston. Let's do some stuff, let's do some things together. And that's kind of how it grew, how it got further. And then now we're here. It took a lot, guys. It took a lot. I've D-ranked all the way down. I'm talking about P150 D-rank from P5000. D-rank. Never would have known. My team never knew. I don't tell them anything because it's not their job. It's my job to be a leader and lead and let everything happen. You blaming your team and, oh, guys, you got to do this. That's not how it works, right? That's not how this stuff works. So just kind of wrapping it up and bringing it all together, DP told you like his story, and my story is a little different, but it just goes to show you that adversity is going to happen. Life is going to happen. We all have a story. Like I said in the beginning, you're not special. You go through things. I've gone through things. DP's gone through some things. I'm sure everybody on this call has things, right? We're busy, right? I have people say all the time, I'm too busy. How are you so busy? What are you doing? Because if you're still broke, or if you still need money, or if you're still struggling, you're obviously wasting your time doing things that aren't getting you any closer to what you want. So how are you just that busy? Oh, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna fall back. Why leave the opportunity that works? Where are you going? What are you taking a break to? Your old life? You're going back to what you know doesn't work? Where are you going? When people quit the business, what is there? What are you going to? You've obviously seen that this works. There's no way that I would ever leave. I don't care who leaves. I don't care what leader quits. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way that you can convince me to leave something that I know works. I hit P5000 in a pandemic. $5,000 a month from Zoom. No cap. Like from Zoom. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing. So when we tell you guys, like, this call is called sophomore year for a reason. All that happened freshman and sophomore year. All that happened. It seems like so much. I'm like, damn, that did happen. Dang, that did happen. That was only a year ago. Can you imagine what junior and senior year looks like? I've already given an undergrad 4 years of my life, and then I gave master's another 2.5 years, so I might as well give this a chance. A lot of you get in here and freshman year, you get discouraged. You're a freaking freshman. Do you remember freshman year? I hated it. I was lost. I didn't know where stuff was. I didn't know who people were. I didn't know nothing. But sophomore year, I was like, oh, okay, all right, I got it a little bit. Okay. I know a few people, you know what I mean? It's different. Junior year, I'm running the campus. I'm it. Senior year, I'm teaching back. Hey, look, don't go there. You can go to this class late. You can do this. You can do that. You start giving the game. We're literally in our sophomore year and we've experienced so freaking much. So much. So with that, guys, we're going to open this floor up and just take some questions, man. We're going to take some questions from you guys. Just do it in kind of like an orderly fashion, you know, unmute yourself and just ask us anything. DP, are you still tapped in with us?
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, I thought you was asleep. You know, you're a little baby.
You funny.
You want to open this thing up and take some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. So you got the floor. Anybody who wants to ask anything, if you're shy, type it in the box or something. We're gonna take questions for a little bit and then we're gonna get up out of here because I know it's late.
I was wondering, how did you guys start to talk about the business to people in person, like in your everyday life? So like if you're like interacting with somebody, like how did you talk about the business as you were going up the ranks, or like what gave you guys the best results when talking about the business?
You wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll take it. So thank you so much for the question. So talking about the business, like I was saying in the beginning, when I was trading and I was losing a lot of money, I felt like my confidence was low. So when I really started tapping into the academy and like really like watching the videos, again, we didn't have Go Live and stuff, but I was watching the videos and all that, I started to build confidence. Like I started knowing like terminology and I started, knowing a little bit. And sometimes just you knowing a little bit more than the next person, that confidence is exuded. Like you feel like, oh yeah, I know about resistance trading. I can tell you about my business. You have a little bit more confidence. And then I was watching a bunch of YouTubes of the chairman. So I was watching how they talk. I was watching how they said certain things. And I just started mimicking that. So when I was talking to people, it just started to flow naturally because I was watching Matt Rosa every day. I was watching Jason every day. I'm watching Austin Gotzi every day. So it was like I was becoming a copycat of them and then just kind of perfecting it to my own style. I just had a ton of confidence. That was it.
I got a question for you. So when you were doing your office in Houston and you first started out, like pre-COVID, right? Because in Seattle, we're still shut down completely. We're opening back up at the end of June. So when you were marketing yourself for your office, like what were some of the things that you did? Did you do like on the ground flyers or what kind of marketing tips did you use?
I used a lot of flyers and like in the building itself, there was like a ton of offices. So what I did was like got a sheet of paper and did like a 4 flyer on the paper, just regular paper. And I would slide it under the doors of the offices. So like the people who were already there, our events were like at 7. So they're probably already getting off, but it would be like, okay, they can stay around to do that. And then of course I use like Instagram and Facebook. I always did an Eventbrite link so that people can sign up. And that way you can always have them to pre-prospect again, to reprocess again. But forget that part, it was just flyers, really, a bunch of flyers.
Okay, thank you.
Sheesh. All right, they put some questions in the chat box as well. Let's see. That's the fact people try to throw you off from it. Okay. What are also some good themes for first few posts on social media? And then during the struggle of freshman year, was there any books you were reading to push through? All right, so I'm gonna answer the first one first. So some good themes in terms of like posting on social media. I would relatively say you got to start with rescripting yourself. The biggest thing is like, yes, people want to learn how to trade. People want to learn how to invest. People want to learn how to make money, but people do not join the platform, they join you. So, some themes would be like, you can have a transparency moment, like a weekly. What I used to do was P2 to P5, I would have like a weekly transparency post talking about like, hey, what I'm going through, nothing like deep, but like obstacles I'm facing and how I overcome obstacles. Or I used to record like a mindset training, like, yo guys, this week I got faced with adversity. This week, I learned something new because I realized that trying to run a digital business was a lot harder. You can try to you don't have to talk about results or money. You talk about your experience, you talk about the journey, and people who resonate with you are going to be like, you know what, this might be something for me. So when you talk about themes, you want to talk about things that relate culturally to you or the identity that you want to promote in your business. Also, you want to talk about your journey, right? That is a major theme because every single week there's a new journey for you. Whether now you feel like you understand trading more, now you feel like you understand how to close. As long as you're documenting your journey, right, as you go step by step, that's gonna rebalance how people interact with you. So I'll keep your social media engaged more around you as an individual and what you're trying to focus or target on, throughout that period of time that you're promoting. And now the other question was, I think it was books. So books during my freshman year. Definitely Building an Empire by Brian Crothers. In fact, I still reread this book over and over. I have my notes constantly. The cool thing about books, something if you guys have ever noticed, is that, no matter what level you're at, you always repeat the cycle, right? So you can read a book today and then read the same book 6 months from now, and it will mean something completely different to you. So I constantly reread the same book. So you got, Building an Empire, right? You got Think and Grow Rich, which is another one. One of the best books I would say for real is I have the audio, so I don't really read it. I listen to it a lot, especially on flights, is How to Win Friends and Influence People, because this is a people person business. Right. And then number 2 would be emotional intelligence. I'm still not good at emotional intelligence, but I realized that How to Win Friends and Influence People is so deep because it shows you how to just interact from just making eye contact with someone versus how to deal with a situation when someone comes at you. And that's super important as a leader when you're trying to build a business. So I think that those are the few books that are super important to kind of script your mindset so you can start to develop. But always, I say this, every book you read, reread it a year later. So try to read the same books every year and you'll be super surprised on the results you'll have as you read those books.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Books. Okay, cool. We knocked that out. Anybody else got anything? Plat with the book collection?
I got another question.
All right. Who's gonna go first?
Oh, it don't matter.
Go ahead, Red.
Yo, so I got more of a tough question, right? And this is for both of y'all, right? This question is more of a tough question because I feel like nobody ever talks about it, right? So, what do you do when you have a team, right? But nobody wants to tap in with the team. You know what I mean? When you got people that's all spread out, right? You got people in all different multiple states, but nobody really wants to tap in the team, but they will tap in with you individually. And they don't want to tap into the system. Like calls like this, right. You could pass it out, you can call them, hey, be on this call, but nobody taps into the system. So what do you do as a leader to pretty much battle that? Because I know you can't really make everybody happy. And then some people, like you said, this business is not just for them. You know what I mean? And some people do it as a hobby versus a business. Right. Some people don't have a high belief level in this type of business. So what do you do to kind of I don't even want to say motivate, because I feel like it's not even motivating them at the end of the day. It's kind of like, I can't determine your success in this business. You know what I mean? How hard I try, but I could still give you the information, but it's what you do with it. You know what I mean? That's going to make you successful. So what do you do when you battling with that type of stuff?
Rhonda, you want to go first or you want me to go? Because, that was...
I feel like I got some heat. I'm going to let you go first.
All right. That was a beautiful question. And I really love it. It just shows that you're one observant. You observe what's happening in your business, which is one of the hardest parts to identify, is identifying the problem, right? It's really hard to identify problems. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and it does suck to say, but you can't, as much as you try, you can't help everyone. And what I mean by that is you can bring a horse to water, but doesn't mean the horse is going to drink the water. You can show someone the blueprint. It doesn't mean they're going to run the play. You can show someone, it's like showing someone how to cook, or showing someone, how to play basketball, or showing someone how to do something, how to, use their social media app. Doesn't mean they're going to do it, right? The biggest thing you can do as a leader is, one, don't drive yourself crazy, because it's like life, bro. Like, there has to be someone that opens your door to the building. There has to be someone that drives that Uber or Lyft. There has to be someone that lives in a penthouse in the sky. That not everyone can do the same thing. And I will leave you with this quote before I go more in depth, right? Expect anything and everything and be attached to nothing, but connected to everything. And what I mean by that is because you don't know, for example, a business with 400 people, 300, 400 people, right? It would be amazing if everyone took this serious, if everyone went all in, we'd be millionaires right now, probably even billionaires. But the fact of the matter is that might not happen. And especially when people tap in with you, all you can do is guide them. It can get stressful sometimes. I used to get frustrated at times, but then I realized that you have to remain consistent. Keep telling them, keep sending the Zoom calls out, because it's the reality of this. We have hundreds of people on the team. There was only 40, 50 people on the call. But you only need 4 people to make really $100K a month, really make $1 million a year. You don't need 50, 100, 200, right? All you need is 3, 4 solid people. That's all you need. Why do you think every chairman 100 only has 3 or 4 chairman 10s? Well, 3 or 4 chairmen, right? You only need a certain amount of people, but willing to go all in. So I say this, right? It sucks in the beginning, but when you get to the top, when you see the results through, and when you showed that you were consistent, the people who stay grounded with you, you'll know. The people who listen to you, you'll know. Because in order to get to the top, like, for example, when it came to trading, not everyone wanted to focus on trading when we started. But now there's 4 or 5 good traders that trade just as well as me or better. But when we all started, we knew nothing. But out of a team we were part of a team of 700. But where is all those 600 and something people now? Who knows? They didn't stick it through. So you just have to understand that you're going to stick it through. And don't be afraid to reassure people that, and do it in a way. That was one of the things I had to do with emotional intelligence. Like, I realized that everyone's not going to come on this journey. People are only a part of your life for a season or a reason. Some people are there just for the first 3 months. Some people are supposed to walk with you just until you hit P6. Some people are supposed to walk with you just until you hit 4 figures trading. So you have to keep a conscious mindset and understand that. So you don't get frustrated, or you don't get worked up, or you don't feel like this isn't working. You just got to remember, this is for anyone, but it's not for everyone. So it doesn't matter if you got 12 people in your business right now, 12 friends, whatever. It's not for all 12 of them. Maybe one of your friends has someone who's going to take this out the move. Maybe one of your friends is going to be the one who hit 7 figures trading because they needed this, or this is something they became passionate about. But you would know these things until you continue to be consistent. Because look, what are diamonds made from? Heat and over a period of time. So right now, everyone wants to be a diamond. Well, who's willing to go through the consistent heat and the consistent pressure for the diamond to be made? If you'll see at the end, because when you're a diamond and you look and you find the diamonds with you, you're going to be like, okay, bet. I get it. The rest of the people, they were like ice cubes. You put diamonds and ice together, you see one diamond. But until you have enough constant pressure and heat, you start to see the ice melt, and then you start to see where the real diamond is. That's all it is. So that's all this process is. But you have to understand, you have to have the mindset first, understand every person that comes into your business may not be the person that is going to be a millionaire with you. Some people might just come with you to just a P600, or some people might just come and say, hey, they have so much potential, but just want to make 3 figures a month because that's all they need to be satisfied in their life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you know where you're trying to go and you know what you're trying to do. So just stay consistent, and the people that you are looking for will find you, right? When the student is ready, the mentor will appear. So and it works both ways. When the mentor is ready, the students will appear. So all you got to do is just stay consistent. Consistency wins no matter what. As long as you're consistent and do what you got to do, it's going to work out. And you're going to find someone who's going to be like, yo, I need this. I'm going to run with you. I see what this is about. I see where you're going. Some people might wake up 5 years from now when you're a millionaire. Like, yeah, I see, I need to do this. Yeah, this is for me. Right? It may not be for them now, but it can be for them later. But as long as you know you're consistent and this is for you, nothing else changes.
Can you get out of my head already? Like, why you gotta always use and say the stuff that I'm gonna say? But no, definitely fire. DP hit it on the head. Like the fact that he said, how many people do you really need to build this business? I think a lot of times we focus on the big number, not realizing you only need 3 legs. You need 3 legs. You need 3 people with the same vision, the same grind, the same intensity, the no matter what mindset, no matter who leaves, no matter who comes, like we're gonna ride this thing to the end, right? You need those people. And not everybody's gonna do this. And you have to work with the willing. Alicia Bush, Chairwoman 25, she said it and I'll never forget it. She says, you give people a task and if they don't complete it, you know not to work with them. They've shown you that they're not coachable. They've shown you that they're not ready. So a lot of times we spend so much time trying to make someone do something that there's someone else waiting for that mentorship. They're showing up. They're doing all the things, but we think, oh no, this person's gonna be a winner. This person's gonna be it. Like they're gonna run with me. And the whole time you're missing out on the person who's really trying. At least they're coachable. Maybe they're not producing as much, like number wise, but they're showing up. They're coachable. They listen. Okay, what next? Okay, what's this? What's this? And they're showing up. And sometimes I'm guilty of that. We'll not focus on that person and we'll focus on the person we have hope for. Oh, I think this is going to be the one. He's going to be good. He's going to do all this. Meanwhile, you're pulling teeth for that person to do anything. Hey man, there's a call tonight. Get on the call. Oh this, oh that, oh this. Meanwhile, the other person is on the call before the call started. But you ignore that person trying to focus on the person who doesn't even want to run with you. So I would just say bare minimum is not effort. Anybody who's doing bare minimum, that's not effort. You're barely doing something. Why am I going to exert myself and spend my time working with you when you're not even trying to work back? So we're all guilty of that, trying to just overdo, make people. Sometimes you got to shake that tree and you got to get rid of everything old. It may hurt. It may bother you because you thought they were the one, they were your friend, they were your homie or whatever. But you gotta let them go. You really have to let them go. Stop answering the phone. Stop reaching out. I guarantee if you stop reaching out, the communication will stop. As soon as you stop, they're not gonna hit you. They're gonna be like, hey, there's a call, this. No, they're not gonna do anything. And then when you stop giving them the attention, the ones who really want it will show up. Hey man, you haven't called me. Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm doing this. Oh, okay. I need to see. But as soon as you pull back, if there's nothing on the other end, let it be. Let it go. Keep moving. That's a great question, Rachel. Thank you so much. What else we got? We got room for like one more question and we're going to get up out of here. I know y'all got to go to sleep. Y'all ain't really grinding. So I know y'all going to go to bed right now. Y'all going to go to sleep? Who's that?
Nah, I was just saying, appreciate y'all too.
No worries.
We got you.
Jug says, what did you change in your routine to go from P to P5? I have leaders who are in and out. How long did it take you to master HFX? I'm thinking that's for you, DP.
Okay, I got you. Let me read it. What did you change in your routine to go from P2 to P5? Have leaders who aren't in and out? How long did it take to master HFX? Okay, blah, blah, blah. So from P2 to P5, the only thing in my routine I changed was sleep. And what that meant was that, bro, I didn't sleep. Like this, I woke up, grinded, took naps, grinded. Like I would fall asleep grinding. Like that's how tired I was, but I wasn't really tired. I was on a mission. You gotta understand, like my coming from where I'm from, like I've always been in a mode of hustle. So when the pandemic hit, it was actually the one thing that was crippling to what I've been doing for most of my life was just getting to like. So I saw it as I crunched the numbers and I just lengthened my daily routine in terms of grinding. And in that, that's how I mastered, HFX was that I'm trading in the morning, evening, nighttime. I'm prospecting morning, evening, nighttime. I'm doing 3-ways, morning, evening, nighttime. Like I turned into a machine to get to what I wanted to accomplish. And it sounds crazy, but sometimes that's a sacrifice you have to make so you can sleep where you want to, so you can sleep whenever you want to. Like now I feel like, bro, sometimes I wake up at 2:00 in the afternoon and I'll be like, oh, okay, all right, but like, it's crazy. Sometimes I'll wake up at 4:00 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, because I work so hard. That's the thing about this industry. You put in the work in the beginning and you get paid later for it. So that my biggest routine was sacrificing. Another thing is I deleted Netflix. I didn't watch TV. I returned the cable box. Like I logged off for social media during the day and I just grinded. Like I have all those things down, but it was like I had to sacrifice it so that I could just be focused. Because you don't need a lot of time. It's just what you do in your time. So for example, the person who was on this call taking notes for 2 hours, they're gonna save a whole week of knowledge trying to find because they got to reiterate it from people who have done it in 2 hours and they took notes so they can pick and choose what they want to use and apply for it. That's all it is what you do within that time. Like literally no cap within this time, right? I did like 2 more Airbnb postings. I did a whole close through text message and I'm here and I'm still taking notes. You see what I'm saying? So it's about what you put in that time. Like I still got my notes running. Like it's just simple things like that. Like just how to juggle time management. And that was one of the biggest things that changed. And that allowed me to spend more times on the charts, spend more time practicing. And then that just helped me get the results a lot faster.
Fire. What changed for me, my routine, it was less time on the charts. That was like, for me, it was less. Before I was just always on the charts, always in the charts after I had like got it. And sometimes you can like overanalyze and you can just over exhaust yourself by being on the charts all the time. So I actually, during that P2K to P5, I actually got off the charts and started like doing the business more and like really like grinding and checking on my team and building leaders and having conversations and doing events to where I wasn't on the charts as much, but I was still making about the same or more money. Because when I didn't get on the charts, I started to trust my markups more. I tried to start to trust my analyzation more. It wasn't even like me questioning. Like I could literally put it in, walk away. Like it wasn't even a question anymore. So it was like the less time I spent on the charts, the more clarity I had on the charts. So I think that would be the only thing I really switched up from P2 to P5 was less chart time. And then once I did that, it was like, boom, everything took off because I was more present in my business. So that was the biggest switch up for me. And I don't think anybody can master HFX. That thing is crazy. That thing is crazy. There ain't no mastering that. One day you think you've got it, spike out, right? So definitely appreciate all the questions. Guys, we rocked with us for 2 hours. Man, I'm beyond grateful, super grateful that so many people stay tapped in, like just to hear our story and to get, information. Like there were calls like this, I wish they had when we were P6 or, P1 and we can get on for 2 hours and really just hear from somebody else. Like sometimes you think you're the only one going through it, or you think that no one else has experienced that. You think it's just you. And it's like, nah, like we all got a story. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all got a story. I'm pretty sure it's deep. Like it's deep, deep. So don't ever think that you're by yourself, or don't ever think that it's just you, or, you know, life is only picking on you. Like just go through it. Go through it, because on the other side of this is success. Like if we would have quit before, we wouldn't be. Look at this man. Y'all just look at DP. Just look at this man. Look at him. Imagine if he would have quit. Imagine he'd be in New York sick, upset with life because he lives in New York. But that's a whole nother story. Like that's a whole nother story, right? He wouldn't be in Houston. He wouldn't be lit. Like go look at that man's Instagram. He's living the life. But if he would have quit, he wouldn't be there. I would be still stuck in a gym to this day, unhappy, and just doing it because it's all I know. That's it. What would you say is your elevator pitch?
Oh, that's my favorite one right there. Rhonda, you go first.
I'm gonna let you guys. You say it was your favorite one.
Nah, go ahead. Just go first.
Elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Wait, what you mean elevator? Like, what you talking about?
I bet. So basically what he means is like you got 30 seconds in the elevator and you don't know who you're talking to, but you want to introduce yourself, but not over edify, but let someone know what you do, right?
Okay.
But they might you could be in an office building. Usually, like what you do is like I love it because like when I was in high school and going into college, when I was looking at intern, you had to learn the elevator pitch. And it was like, you had to tell like something like, oh yeah, you went to school here, you did this, you're interested in this and blah, blah, blah. But you have to do something to catch them, right? Catch their attention, because you never know if you're in a building and that's someone who can give you a job opportunity. Or you go to interview at a job and someone asks you, hey, you know, what's your pitch? You got to hit your pitch on the spot. So it's like corporate America stuff, but it's so dope because it's like, you can transcribe it.
Look, let me hear yours first. Let me practice. I've never thought about it in that sense.
Right, so I got the 30 seconds. All right, ready?
Ready?
All right, bet. 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's going on? Listen, man, I'm an under 25 future millionaire. You know, I help sell money to people. And what I mean by that is I provide an opportunity without providing an opportunity to open doors. You know, I'm from Queens, New York, currently live out in Houston. And I just want to tell you that, listen, just between a 30-second conversation, I can help change your life, but you have to find out more of what I do. Let's connect. Let me show you my business and let me help you change your life. And I got 5 seconds left.
Ooh, 7's in the chat for the elevator pitch. 7's in the chat. Go crazy. Wow. Okay. All right.
30 seconds. Okay. They be like, what you got?
They be like, oh, yeah, tell me more about it. Like, okay, I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to work on mine. I don't know. I think I would lead with like something like, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I got you. The best one, the one I use now, especially where I live, like it was like, hey, what do you do? Da-da-da. You know, be like, hey, I'll just be like, hey, listen, self-employed future millionaire, right? You know, I help people maximize their potential and minimize their loss. And I sell money. What do you mean you sell money? That's the line. I sell money. How do you sell money? Like, that's the trigger. Every time I use that, someone asks, like, how do you sell money? I can show you better than I can tell you. Plug them in. Boom.
I like that.
Because you tell someone you sell money, they may laugh, but they may be like, yo, someone told me they sold money. Most people don't say that. Most people say, I make money, but you said you sell money? Right. Yeah, because I make so much money, I have to sell it.
I like that. I'm gonna get really good, y'all. Follow up with me in the next 24 hours. I'm gonna have a whole YouTube video.
Right. How to sell money. That's it.
How to sell money. The perfect elevator pitch. Get ready to look out for that on the YouTube.
No, don't do it. Stop.
But look, guys, it's been great. We enjoyed y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, let everybody do what they're gonna do. But we appreciate it again. Thank you so much for each and every person who tapped in. DP, his Instagram is platinum.dp on Instagram. Mine is Itsreallyrhonda, ITS really Rhonda. Make sure you follow us, hit us up, DM us if you need help. no matter what team you're on, we're not really about all that team stuff. Like, if you need help, we gonna help. Like, that's just how we rock, right? So have a great, great night, guys. We appreciate it again. Sophomore year is lit, but junior and senior lit is better. Let's go. Peace out, guys.